All right, man. We hold on. We back. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Give me 1 second. All right, give me 1 second. Gotta make a small adjustment, and we'll be in here. 1 second. Alrighty, then we back. Had to switch over to mic. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Y'all see what we talk about today. It's the NBA. Tomorrow's probably gonna be hip hop 101, and could be something different on. Well, nothing will be Thursday. I might, have some reactions to the NFL draft. Don't know why. Hold on, we have an issue on my end. Give me 1 second. It's a small issue. Give me 1 minute. I don't know why I did that. So give me 1 minute. Hopefully it fixes itself out, and it hasn't. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Benjamin Ford Facts, Tellerman, what's going on? Juan, Denny, salute. Rayzone, I see you. So there we go. I fixed it. So yeah, let's talk about some NBA. Obviously, the Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, Chicago Bull doc dropped the other day on Sunday 1 and 2. I watched it. I haven't watched it again, but I watched 1 and 2, part 1 and 2, and it was decent. I didn't expect it to be like the greatest basketball doc I seen just off of part 1 and 2. We got a 10-pound. We got a 10. I know my dog barking. We got a 10-part series, so I don't expect 1 and 2 to be the best. But people just want to continue to kind of beat this debate, in the head, and it's not a debate. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when LeBron became better than Kareem. You know what I'm saying? LeBron should be compared to a guy like Jerry West. You feel what I'm saying? Jerry West went 1 and 8 in the finals. When you look at the other greats throughout team sports, I mean, I don't know exactly what was Wayne Gretzky's finals record, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't 3 and 6. It could have been worse. Hockey's a little bit different. I'm gonna look it up. I don't know what the fuck it was. But he said Larry Bird. Larry Bird had a worse. Well, Magic was 5 and 4, so Bird was probably 4 and 5. But nobody calls Larry Bird the GOAT. We talking this conversation. It's Kareem, Jordan, Kobe, Bryant. Maybe those four. And it's those are the four that I would look at to kind of compare and contrast each other. But it's really give me a minute. It's really no comparison, bro. It's a gap between it's a gap. It's like Kareem, Michael. It's a gap between Kobe and Jordan. People could say, oh, he was all around a better player than Jordan, but that's not true. The two sides of the ball, Jordan was better at. Offensively, he was a better scorer. Defensively, he was a better defender. That's right then and there. That's the game right there. Scoring buckets and stopping buckets from being scored. You can talk about rebounding. You can talk about assists. But you can talk about those things. But when you talking about scoring and stopping a dude from scoring, there's no contest. He said Kobe not even the top 10. I mean, that's your opinion. You got Magic. You got Shaq. You got Hakeem. You get the whole thing about Shaq and motherfucking... You can make a case that Hakeem Olajuwon was better than Shaq. Because Shaq didn't win it with Penny. You talking facts. You know what I'm saying? He didn't win it with Penny. He didn't win it till he got with Kobe. And the last one he won with Dwayne Wade carried him to the finish line. He was old at that last point. We just speaking facts. He was a decoy versus Dallas at that point in that final game, and Dwayne and the referees carried them over dirt. But Hakeem did it without another top 50 player. Maxwell, Otis Stewart, he played for the Pistons for a minute. Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Scott Brooks, whoever else hell was on that team. Coffee, universe, salute. So you can make a case that before y'all get to screaming Shaq name, you can make a case that Keem was better than Shaq. You can make a big case for that. But as far as LeBron, it's one thing that people don't bring up about LeBron. When Michael controlled the NBA, when it became Michael League after Magic Bird, league, and it was never Isaiah's league because the league would have never allowed it. But after Magic and Bird, he kind of officially won his first title over Magic. The NBA went to heights that it had never been before. But you got to thank Magic and Bird because it took it off the ground. Magic and Bird will always be the foundation for the popularity of basketball in the NBA. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest college player, bar none. Then you probably looking at guys like Bill Walton. Not Michael Jordan. Look at the stats. Kareem probably could have came out of high school and did what he did. But people don't talk about the heights that Michael Jordan, in his print that he put on back in the NBA. People forget. The baggy shorts, the Fab Five got that from Michael Jordan. The shoe game, people scream all day, oh, LeBron better than Jordan, but nigga, all I do is see you rock Jordans. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit, I see some people rocking Team Jordans. And the league was at a higher profile clip. When you talk about basketball, NBA came on Saturday and Sundays. You got double and triple headers. They had no regard for the NFL. They didn't give a fuck about no football coming in on Sunday. You could see a triple header on NBC or whatever that was coming on a Sunday afternoon. The NFL was no op. There was no competition to the NBA at that point. The NBA was global. And don't forget, Michael wasn't losing the Olympics. He won it in '84 and he won it with the Dream Team. LeBron lost the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? The Pistons was dirty. Man, go look at the Houston Rockets in the '70s. Go look at the Boston Celtics. Go look at the motherfucking Los Angeles Lakers. What James Worthy said? He said we could have called the Celtics the real bad boys in the beginning of the '80s. It wasn't nothing about the Pistons being dirty. The Pistons won in '04 and they was a clean team and still didn't get their respect. It's about market. Fuck up out of here. It's a physical sport. Do anybody call some of them old ass, dirty ass teams that wore the stickum on they shit dirty? No. Anybody call, what's my man's that just passed away? The defensive end from the Rams a few years ago that slapped motherfucking heads off the line of scrimmage. People get it twisted. You young niggas get it twisted. The sports is meant to be dirty. Boxing is a dirty sport. Oh, he cheated. He dirty. If you get away with it, it is. Ain't nothing clean about basketball. Ain't nothing clean about boxing. That's why it's sissified right now. This is why you got grown men flopping. It's a sport. It's competitive. Even soccer, they rumble up. They trip each other. They elbow each other. They kick each other in the face and the chest. It's a sport. This is not Pop Warner. This is not PAL. Hockey. Anybody cry about hockey when they banging on the floor and they punching each other? No, people come to see that shit. Them white people come to see that. And kind of brings it back to my point. Jordan went through shit that LeBron never had to go through. Jordan just wasn't anointed. And this is what I talked this in boxing. Canelo was given it. LeBron was given the keys. Jordan wasn't anointed. He wasn't the first overall pick. He wasn't the second overall pick. But Jordan done something LeBron can never do. Jordan took the NBA from a big man league to a guard league. It was Sampson. It was Akeem. Eventually Ewing. Robert Parrish. Kevin McHale. You can go on and on. The narrative, if you watch the documentary, is a 6'6" Michael Jordan couldn't carry your team. You needed a center. You needed a center. Jordan changed that. Jordan fucking crawled for James Harden to walk, for Kobe to walk. You know what I'm saying? For LeBron to do what he did. LeBron ain't facing no all-time great centers. Not for real no more. Not in his lifetime, for the most part. He ain't facing no fucking Hakeems. He ain't facing no real Shaquille. Oh, he ain't facing them. This motherfucker facing some glorified Rick Smiths. And the one real deal dude he did fight, Tim Duncan, was at the end of his rope. KG, his prime was behind him. This is who Jordan was grooming, was molding. The Tim Duncans, the Garnetts, the Shaqs. Beating the hell out of them. You hear Isaiah Ryder's story about how KG talked junk to Michael? Michael crawled for these guards and wings to walk today. The NBA is like the NCAA tournament. NCAA tournament is the most it was the most guard-oriented thing in all of basketball. If you had two good guards, Jameer Nelson, Delonte West, Allen Ray, Randy Foye, Kyle Lowry, if you had some good guards in the tournament, you can go a long way. It wasn't a big man tournament. And there was some exceptions to the rules. But if you had a CJ McCollum, you had a motherfucker Rashad McKence, you can do something in the NCAA tournament. Lawrence Williams, salute. You know, he wasn't going against no big man. LeBron, he wasn't going against a who's list of big fellas. Jordan had to go through them all. And he reigned supreme. It was a big fellas league. And now what they've done is, since Jordan destroyed the big fella narrative, you know what I'm saying, he became the best player in the league. Before it was Kareem, it was Wilt. And you had great guys back in the day like Nate Tiny Archibald, nobody talks about. You had other great players like Pete Maravich, which I think is the most underrated ball player of all time in my opinion. It's my favorite guy to go because he was doing things that was so revolutionary that go look at some of Pete Maravich's his drills. Look, if guys like Kenny Anderson and guys like the Petrovic guy who passed away in Jersey, if guys like it was another guy like Kenny, Rod Strickland played today, if some of them guards played in this open type lane today, it'd be a wrap. Alex English, Adrian Dentley. You can go on and on about underrated guards. Nobody talks about Earl Monroe. I mean, if you look at the clip of The Last Dance and you watch what Clyde Frazier say, right? He said, Michael Jordan, I'm paraphrasing, he can't carry the load. He can't take a team to the championship. They need a big fella. That's what he said for the most part. Remember that clip? I think it was part 1 or 2. I can't remember. He said Michael can't carry the load. They need a big fella. That's why Hakeem went before Michael when Sam Bowie went before Michael. That's why. That's what the narrative was. Now today that Jordan destroyed that, he destroyed that, and Dirk Nowitzki helped that as well too. Dirk, Allen Iverson, and Dirk Nowitzki, in my opinion, just off top, they helped turn this league into a guards league, and they helped turn the big fella into a more guard-oriented guy. Dirk Nowitzki, his ability to stretch the ball out to the three-point line and shoot, and Kevin Garnett mid-range, and then Tim Duncan got a mid-range game. Dirk Nowitzki helped revolutionize basketball. When you talk about since Michael Jordan, you would say Jordan revolutionized it. Allen Iverson revolutionized it with some of the blows he took for them. He crawled for them to walk and run today as far as what they wear, as far as the tattoos, as far as the cornrows, all that shit. As far as can a little man get a team to the championship, Iverson went against the grain, against a lot of things that the NBA wanted to implement. And without him, these dudes would still be wouldn't be as, dressing, and the game wouldn't be played the same. You talking about the crossover? I wouldn't say he revolutionized the crossover, but he popularized it. You got to shout out to Tim Hardaway, Isaiah Thomas, and a lot of other guys. And Dirk Nowitzki, he made every big fella want to get on the perimeter and shoot a three. So there, you put all them ingredients into the pot. In the 2000s, you had even Tim Duncan stepping out there shooting mid-range. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, you have big fellas like Karl Anthony Towns, AD, they shooting three-pointers now. And then you go today. Who revolutionized, who is the Allen Iverson of the day is LeBron James. LeBron James has took the NBA into a player's league. His business acumen is second to none. He's popularized the 1-and-1. He's popularized grabbing the organization by the balls, and he's gave the players more power. NFL wish they had a LeBron James, the Players Association. LeBron is the most powerful man in the NBA. Steph Curry is like Dirk Nowitzki and Michael Jordan. He revolutionized the way the game is played. Now all of a sudden you take 1 or 2 steps over half court, he launching that hoe. We just speaking facts. Steph Curry had more of an impact on the floor on how the game played than LeBron did, but LeBron had more of an impact off the floor, and that's cool. You look at the sneaker game right now. The sneaker game is still dominated by Michael Jordan. And only thing I get from people that says that, what about LeBron? Oh, his shoes cost this much. I'm not an ignorant young motherfucker. I've never been that way. I don't care what it costs. If I like it, I like it. If it costs a price where I feel that if a shoe costs $1,000 and I feel that the material is worth $1,000, then maybe I'll think about it. But if you just put $1,000 or $400 price tag on a bullshit ass shoe or $300, I'm not gonna buy it. Just to say I got them. I've never been that superficial. But though that is my honest opinion, and I believe that's accurate. That's accurate. Well, we talked about Isaiah. I'm gonna get into Isaiah later. So at the end of the day, Steph Curry is Dirk in the Jordan situation. Allen Iverson, LeBron, they in the same situation. So they all great in my opinion, but just looking at LeBron, can he do some things that other guys can't do? Absolutely. Physical, can get to the rim, but when people don't talk about the downside, nigga, winning is a top priority other than skill to being being a GOAT. You gotta win. When Michael was out there, nobody ate. Nobody got a plate. They was eating crumbs. They was eating chitlins and cornbread and some bullshit ass shit. Wasn't nobody eating for real. Oh, he didn't play this. Did motherfuckers see? And I'm gonna tell you about penny shoes in a minute. If you stick around, I'm gonna tell you about penny shoes and how Penny and Scottie Pippen kind of cross paths. Let me grab my water real quick. This remind me on that. Right? My daughter dog sitting a dog. I think they trying to get me to buy it, but it ain't happening. But let's continue on, right? And then keep that penny thing. No, the Charlotte bottle, that's in the dish rack. They usually use my gym bottle, but the gym ain't open, so it got cold. So me and Miles was walking around the track. I go up there and jog and get on the pull-up bar, but shit, you can't take no chances with Michigan weather. If I get sick and they think it's the COVID-19, it's a lot of things that limit my day with that. So I can't afford to be out there. So shit, I get the ball of belly popping back again. It is what it is. So when you talk about, you have to have skills, right? That's just, you got to have skills to be in that level, right? You got to be able to put the ball in the hole. But one of the top things is actually winning and what you do in winning time. Your circumstances is what they are. If you got to play the Monstars in your 10 or 9 finals appearances, we don't want to hear no excuses why you didn't win. It's easy to put up numbers when it's no pressure to win. You have to win to be considered a great. Jerry West was 1-8. He can unofficially be the fucking logo, but he 1-8. And the one time he won, I think it was with Wilt Chamberlain. He 1-8. Bill Russell was another guy, 11 rings. Might have been only 5 teams in the league. I say that jokingly, but you got to pay homage to these dudes. It still wasn't easy, but you look at what LeBron doing, he gotta win. And people talk about Jordan opposition. Let me tell you this: in the Eastern Conference, it was by far tougher than anything LeBron has incurred in the Eastern Conference. We can't say he done nothing in the West because he hasn't made the playoffs in the West yet. You talking about beating Gilbert Arenas and traveling for the game-winning bucket. You talking about beating a young Boston Celtics team with Isaiah Thomas. You talking about beating an old Celtic team where basically y'all had to gang up in Miami to beat them because y'all couldn't beat them apart. I mean, who else did he go through? You know what I'm saying? He beat the Pistons one round. We were sorry as hell that year. That's the year we got Reggie Jackson. you know, you talking about Michael, you know, there's a reason why he got destroyed by the Bucks. It was a reason why he got destroyed by the '86 Celtics. Say what you want to, that's one of the greatest teams assembled. You still had Dominique out there, and I tell y'all, go look at that Isaiah Thomas and Bernard King series. Bernard King from game, and remember it was 5-game series, so that's more pressure. Bernard King dropped after game 1. Bernard King game 3 to game 5. Bernard King averaged over 40 points, bro, shooting twos. You know what I'm saying? Shooting twos, nigga, off the block. That's one of the best playoff performances nobody talk about, especially first round performances. Don't forget, you know, you keep going. Like I said, Dominique didn't defend nobody, but you still had the Pistons that was on the come up. The Knicks eventually in the 90s got it right. And I'm going to tell you this right now. People talk about Klay Thompson and Reggie Miller. Until I see Klay Thompson carry a team on his own, and I seen the way Draymond and Steph Curry struggled this year in minimum action, I'm telling you, Reggie Miller, and listen to me here, Reggie Miller used to give Michael Jordan that work. Y'all ain't got to believe me. Y'all can go look at the footage. Ain't nobody in history, since I've been watching basketball, ain't nobody in history I seen hit more big shots than Reggie Miller in my lifetime. Reggie Miller, if I had to bet a pretty penny, you say remove like Michael Jordan for a game-winning shot, or you say remove Jerry West for a game-winning shot, you know, because he made some good shots in his career. I think he hit a half-court shot to win the game. You tell me to remove like guys like that, and you know maybe Larry Bird, and I think Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was prolific, bro. Michael wasn't walking over Reggie, and don't forget you had Steve Smith. Shout out to the Doughboy Persian, Detroit. I'm telling you, Reggie Miller hit some fucking shots, and he can play the game. Reggie Miller, man, he was my favorite player. My first organized basketball team in the 4th grade, I wore 31 because of Reggie Miller. He one of my favorite players of all time. Don't forget he put motherfucking Michael in the bear hug. And he also put our boy, I ain't gonna say y'all, our boy Kobe in the bear hug. People forget that. He's a military brat. And people laughed at him because his sister used to dominate. And I think Cheryl Miller is the greatest female basketball player of all time. So when people tell this narrative and you listen to these young guys, like I watch this dude. And people will listen to me like, oh, you just a Jordan lover. I hate that motherfucker. I'm from Detroit. I'm a real Piston fan. But you know what? I can hate somebody but respect him. I respect what LeBron do. But LeBron ain't he ain't the greatest basketball player I ever seen. All the shortcomings. You know, Michael Jordan would never let a white boy like Dirk Nowitzki beat him in the finals with that team. Never. That Maverick team would never. And people talk about him having Pippen. And I'm going to talk about how good Pippen was. Oh, yeah. Mark Price, Brad Daughtry, Larry Nance. Cleveland had a team, too. They was underdogs in that series. They beat Cleveland. People forget that. You know what I'm saying? But people talk. Tell me Michael Jordan roster. Who? I mean, you can go to the best roster he had. Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, Michael, Tony Kukoc, Luke Longley. Ron Harper, he was that guy until he injured his knee. John Paxton was on the earlier squads. You tell me what was so great. What was so great? You can make an argument that LeBron Miami team had more talent than those Chicago Bull teams from top to bottom, and I think we might all agree. Horace was on the earlier team. I'm talking about the 90s team. Horace had switched over to the Orlando Magic. People forget that. That was the 9. That's Paxson, Horace. That's when they beat Phoenix. I'm talking about the best Bulls team as far as the 72-win team. But you know what the B.J. Armstrong was on the earlier team. But shout out to B.J. Armstrong. He was on the earlier teams, I believe. I could be wrong. Craig Hodges, that he was on the earlier team. Don't forget, I'm talking about the best Bulls, the 72 Bulls. Maybe he was on that. I think he was on 90, 91. 91, 92. But let's just get to it. Judd Butchler. Didn't he play in Detroit? But I think he did. I don't know. But the difference was this: when people ask me, and I'll get to this, how who I had a typo. Give me a minute. I'm glad I just said that. Who would have beat the Bulls? And we'll get there. I'm not going to harp long on this LeBron thing because I'm pretty sure over the things we will. Jason Caffey, sorry, yes. Bill Cartwright. I can't believe he was like a top 5 pick. But when people go in and say, why was them Bulls team so good? You know what? LeBron and them could have beat the Golden State Warriors. And I want to explain this real quick. LeBron and them could have beat the Golden State Warriors. But can anybody say what was the difference when Kyrie and Kevin Love was healthy? Do you know what the difference is between LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, and that team and the Bulls team? It wasn't talent. It wasn't overall talent. You know what the difference was of that team? Because the Bulls teams wasn't that sexy on paper. It wasn't just Phil Jackson. It wasn't just Michael Jordan. What the difference with that team was between LeBron Cleveland team was the ability to have 3 all-time defenders that could be ranked in the top 10. Dennis Rodman is perhaps the greatest all-around defender. At one point in his career, he can guard Larry. At one point in his career, he can guard guards. He can guard Shaq. He can guard McHale. Dennis Rodman was probably the greatest. He was the most versatile defender in history. These are facts. Scottie Pippen is probably the greatest perimeter defender of all time. Michael Jordan was the defensive player of the year one year. Perennial all defensive team, even later in his career. So when you talk about if LeBron takes care of Kevin Durant, Kyrie able to lock up Steph Curry, and Kevin Love able to just man the middle against Draymond, and they all communicate and help defense. Had Cleveland not been prima donnas, had they been able to play defense, Cleveland would beat Golden State Warriors. That's what made Golden State so great. Not only the ability that all these superstars didn't need the ball to score. It was the ability to defend. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Scottie I could take KD for a minute. Okay, I'm going to take Steph if I'm Jordan. Or I'm going to take Clay. Dennis, you lock down the boards. You make sure Draymond don't hit them fluky shots. Defense is not a real system. Defense is not a real system. Defense is more of will. It's an intangible to defense. You got to want it on defense. And LeBron didn't want to guard Kevin Durant. That's another thing that Quincy Pinola salute that we don't bring up. You got to want to lock down. You lock down him and Kyrie lock down Steph Curry and Kevin Love man the paint. Then you talking something different. That team had the ability to beat Cleveland the 2 years. And I'm a real motherfucker. Had Kyrie had played and Kevin Love played the first year, Golden State wouldn't have won that ring. Had Kevin Durant never would have came back then, we having a totally different debate about LeBron and Jordan. It's definitely more closer because LeBron would be what? He would probably be 6 and 3 in the finals. Then we looking at something different. He would have like 6 rings. But even if Kevin Durant and everything went the way it did, had he committed to the defensive side of the floor, had Kyrie committed to the defensive side of the floor, had Kevin Love been a better rim defender, or had they swapped Kevin Love or swapped Andrew Wiggins for somebody, I'm not saying this to be factual, but somebody to be like Clint Capella, had he able to have AD in the paint, had he been able to have Chris Bosh man in the paint. Because Chris Bosh was very, very underrated, bro. That finals they lost to Miami, Chris Bosh, that's why I don't look at the numbers. Watch the tape. Chris Bosh did everything. He the only dude that deserved to cry. 4 and 5 or 5 and 4, good looking. He the only dude who deserved to cry in the tunnel. When he cried in the tunnel, niggas laughing like, oh, Chris Bosh didn't do Chris Bosh did everything that his position or his job duty designed him to do. He defended the rim. He did the dirty work. He was the only Miami Heat player out of they Beatles, whatever you want to call them, that played his position. He did everything he was supposed to do. Had LeBron had Chris Bosh, he choked it up too. Dwayne Wade was deferring to LeBron too much. See, that's why you can't go into numbers. I can watch Matthew Stafford all day. The motherfucker finished with 500 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I go back and watch the game, get off work. 500 of the yards came in the fourth quarter. The Heatles. So his 26 points was irrelevant because he was deferring to LeBron. And then LeBron was airballing and letting J.J. Barea and Jason Terry lock him up. And you will never hear this from nobody say this publicly. He say, I went to Miami to learn how to win from Dwayne Wade. What you need to learn how to win from Dwayne Wade? You're the greatest player of all time, right? What you need to learn how to win for? Great players don't say that. GOATs don't say that. I had to go learn Jordan. Oh yeah, I had to go to LA or Boston to learn how to win from Bird, McHale, Magic, and Worthy. Yeah, me and Worthy played on the same college team, but I had to go learn how to win from him. I'm gonna come back to Chicago when I learn how to win. You know what I'm saying? So you just look at those certain things and times that LeBron had mental lapses and times that he wasn't no show or in the finals and usually times where it was no pressure on him, he played the best. Versus Golden State, he balled out. You know why? Because he know he wasn't expected to win. But you put a little bit of pressure on his neck. You put a little bit of pressure on his neck, he gonna fold. And it's okay. Nobody is the perfect player. You know what I'm saying? Michael had his flaws. You punch me in. You attempt to punch me in my face. You ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna be like Bill Cartwright. You ain't gonna walk again. I'm gonna turn real quick into Javaris Crittenton or Gilbert Arenas in that locker room. For people who understand that reference, I ain't even about to play with Michael. What my motherfucker say on a white man can't jump? Oh, I ain't never used no goofy white motherfucker to run no scam like this. I'm gonna go to the car when I come back. I'm shooting all you motherfuckers. He said when I come back, I'm shooting all you motherfuckers. I ain't never used no goofy white boy like that. He said, I'm going to go to the car and get mother gun. That's how I would have told Michael, like, this is way right here. I got an iron core. Do you want more for your ass? You think you punch me in my face? You even think about punching me in my face. Don't even dream about it. I would have gorilla checked Mike right there. Bill Cartwright say, man, you do that. You know who you talking to? You won't walk again. You fuck with me. Yeah, he punched a white boy in his face, all right. The way he was yelling at him in practice and shit like that. Oh yeah, all right. I'd have been on offense and I would have set a screen on his ass. But it's just certain things that he just didn't have. You know, it's talking about the effort defensively, LeBron. And at one point he used to lock in defensively, but it was never like Michael. And everybody want to bring up everything like Shannon Sharp. I would love to talk to Shannon Sharp about this, right? He bring up everything, but nobody brings up Michael Jordan greatest season. All he had to do was win a championship. This motherfucker was the slam dunk champion. He was the scoring champion. Listen to here. Let me know when LeBron did this. Hold on. Let me know when LeBron did this. And I want to get the exact year right. I want to know when LeBron did this. Hold on. $1988 is the year, right? 1988. Name me somebody that won the All-Star Game MVP, Slam Dunk Championship, scoring title, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. We all know he was first team All-NBA. We all know he was first team defensive all NBA. That was the greatest, other than winning Finals MVP. I mean, or making it to the final. That's the greatest physical year that I've seen in NBA history. LeBron ain't never had that. He averaged 37 points off twos. Off twos. So you telling me he's probably a top 10 defender of all time. And then you telling me he's a scoring machine? That's what you call all around. But you know what? LeBron is one of the top 5 greatest players I've seen. Because you get a little bit, there's a lot of, guys that's murky in there. We talking about Hakeem, Shaq, Magic, Kareem. I just think Kareem and Michael Jordan are the GOATs. And then everybody else, Bird is in there for me. Bird is one of the greatest players. He fell in a great situation. But you listen to Isaiah talk about Bird and the things he can do. People who question if Bird can play today, I just point to Kevin Love and point to Draymond Green. And if you think this white boy couldn't play today, this white boy would light the league up. Bird was a playmaker. Bird was a willing defender. Bird had the jumper. Bird had the mid-range. He had the post. Bird was, Bird. When I'm going to tell you this. Go talk to your uncles. Go talk to your grandpappy. During the time, me growing up in Detroit, people didn't want to give Bird his credit. But when he retired, go talk to the black old timers about Bird. Bird is one of the top 10 greatest players to play this game. Y'all can talk about Kevin Durant. Y'all can talk about, he looked better on the court, or he can do this better. When it comes to playing the game, it's different. Could Kevin Durant have 2 rings in Oklahoma City? Absolutely not. It wasn't a Kevin Durant. I'm gonna explain something about Kevin Durant. Then we're gonna move on to Draymond and KD, and then we'll talk about Scottie, and then who would have beat the Bulls. Make sure y'all share this. Hit the thumbs up button. Please share it. I'm going to tell you something about KD. We're going to transition to KD and Draymond. Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City. Obviously because Golden State begged them. They knew they had nobody to handle LeBron. These are the facts. But he would have never won a championship in Oklahoma City. The NBA was never going to allow Oklahoma City Thunder to get a championship. The market it just wasn't fruitful enough. And I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA paid the Oklahoma City Thunder owner to let James Harden trade him and break that up. Now, had the Thunder had been in the franchise market like the Lakers, or had they been with the Knicks, had they been with the Celtics, that team would have never broke up. They would have found a way. The NBA would have funneled cash to KD, James Harden, and Ibaka and Westbrook, and to that owner. They would have funneled cash. If they created that storm in Lakers, Knicks, Celtics, I guarantee you that team would have never broke up. Kevin Durant knew I wasn't going to get no ring unless I stacked the tables against LeBron. And I guarantee you Steph Curry, I guarantee you Draymond told him that. Like, look here, right now, if we super stack the tables against them, the NBA can't stop us. And Kevin Durant was like, fuck it. Now, with Kevin Durant, his career end, so let's say Kevin Durant stayed with Oklahoma City Thunder. He blew his Achilles out. Him and Westbrook go their own separate ways. You feel me? And he not the same player. He don't get a ring. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say he do get a ring, like Gary Payton got a ring on the tail end of a championship team, or Bill Walton got a ring on the tail end of the Celtics team, even though he had one in Portland. People would have still said, "Oh, his ring didn't amount to nothing. Oh, he didn't really matter." So Kevin Durant was in a lose-lose situation. You know what I'm saying? So for him, he had another choice. He had to listen to Kevin Garnett. Get your rings now. Don't worry about it later. So now you don't have that monkey on your back. You know what I'm saying? You and Kyrie both got rings. So really, you kind of playing with house money here. If they bring one to Brooklyn, that's just going to validate the 2 rings he got before, and it's going to validate Kyrie ring. So that's just something to look at, man. But as far as, Draymond Green, I think he's obsessed. I think he's obsessed with with Kevin Durant. This shit kind of sound bulldaggish. It's to the point where Devin Haney. I mean, she got me saying Devin Haney, coon killer peep salute. It's to the point where I think Draymond Green got some type of sexual attraction to Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Like, move on. They so salty about Kevin Durant leaving. It had to happen. All good things come to an end. May it be Jerry Krause, may it be Father Time, may it be Kyrie wanting to go play on his own team and be the man. All good things come to an end. It was going to end. And Draymond just keep this man's name in his mouth. It's to the point where Kevin Durant going to have to get some respect. And the way you get some respect, bro, you got to pull down on one of these niggas, man. And you got to gorilla check them. With Shannon Sharp calling him a bitch, I would be up at the studio. I would be up at the studio and I gorilla check Shannon Sharp. He ever say that about my name, if I'm Kevin Durant, he not just about to get away with. I don't care how big Kevin Durant is. If I gotta come up there 50 niggas deep to beat old unk ass, we gonna fuck up the unk up. Because you not gonna call me no or insinuate that I'm a bitch on national television. What Crawford say and Birdman say, don't play with my name, bro. See, Kevin Durant letting all these people get under his skin. All he gotta do is make an example of a nigga. No, size don't matter. Shit, that Glock turned every nigga into a motherfucker 5'5", 102 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I go straight Suge Knight. You ain't gonna be talking to me like that. Man, like T.I. said, man, I die for my respect. Kendrick Perkins talking that shit too. He can get that work too, man. Please. You think these niggas would be playing with Derek Coleman name like that in these streets? Real talk. You think they be playing with Derek Coleman name? Kevin Willis? People don't know he Kevin Willis from Detroit. Derek Coleman. Linwood's finest. Certain dude's name they ain't gonna play with. All Kevin Durant gotta do is make an example of somebody. Real talk. I'll make an example. I don't care, man. Forget all that. I had the Goons go up there and beat one of them motherfucking heads in. He ain't representing DC well. You don't see people start playing with Carmelo name like that. That's on God. Persian, Steve Smith with the Persian. Real talk. But Kevin Durant got to get some respect on his name. He got to gorilla check Draymond. Draymond ain't going to keep, man, dog, look here, man. I call Dray. I wouldn't even call. I pull up on him after the coronavirus. Hey, bro, what's your problem is? I'm gone. Kendrick Perkins talking shit, averaging a triple single. How did Kendrick Perkins go from high school to the league with that skill set? Draymond Green, you had the worst season for a former All-Star that I ever seen, bro. It's like, you know, Calvin, what's his name from Like Mike, took your powers. And you should be hiding up under a rock. You should be in the gym, living in the gym. You should be shooting jump shots. You should be trying to get it right. Draymond Green should be afraid to show his face on social media after this season. I know they regret giving this motherfucker All-Star Award, Defensive Player of the Year Award. He is perhaps the most overrated basketball player to step foot in the league. Real talk. Draymond was so bad this year, bro. Dribbling the ball out of bounds and couldn't hit a shot. And Draymond didn't have one good highlight other than Christmas Day. Even when Steph Curry was out there, y'all don't want to hear this. Steph Curry was looking ass booty. Y'all talking about Kobe couldn't do it without Shaq, and LeBron needs Scottie and Pippen needed Jordan need Pippen. Man, did y'all see how Steph Curry was looking this season, bro? Early on, it was only a few games. Steph Curry, they was out there getting blew out by 40, 50. Sacramento Kings or the Phoenix Suns putting the Beast by Dre on them. And this guy, man, he was getting blew out. It wasn't even close. They was gonna have the same record with or without Steph. If they would have had Steph Curry this season still, he was out there looking garbage. Hot guy. Him and Draymond was out there looking like Greg Odom knees and Bill Ward knees. Like I said, Steph Curry just got the right people around him, man. And that's on God. And that's good for him. Still a good player in this league. Still a revolutionary player. But him and Draymond, two of the most overrated people I've ever seen. Yeah, Eric Pascal he was balling for a minute. Then they stopped playing him after he got injured. He said Kobe couldn't do it without Phil. Can't nobody do it alone. Could nobody do it alone? People kill him. Oh, he can't do it without him. Could Bill Russell have did it without Red Auerbach? Maybe, maybe not. People be killing me like it's LeBron versus the other 10 players, or it's Steph versus the other 10 players. Steph Curry is drastically overrated. Don't mean he's not a good player. Don't get it twisted. He's a good player. But he ain't a top 5 or 7 point guard I ever seen. He not. Oh, I'm going to just keep it funky on your way. As a point guard, he not fucking with Chris Paul. He just in the right situation for Stephen Curry. Wardell Stephen Curry. He's in the right situation for Steph Curry. And like Chris Carter said, if you ain't in the right position or you ain't in the right system, you will get marginalized. Steph Curry wouldn't have been Steph Curry with the Knicks. He wouldn't have been Steph Curry with the Timberwolves. That motherfucker be over there in Europe playing with my homeboy. He got in the right position to be successful, and there's nothing wrong with it. In the NBA Finals, where does he go? You let me know the time LeBron let a motherfucker like Iguodala get Finals MVP. You let me know when Michael Jordan let Ron Harper get MVP. You let me know when Shaq and Kobe let Robert Horry or Derek Fisher get MVP. If you let me know when you seen LeBron get embarrassed. You let me know when you seen LeBron get embarrassed like Kyrie was embarrassing Steph Curry. You let me know when a nigga dropped average 40 from like 4 or 5, 6 games on a nigga. They was down 3-1. That motherfucker Kyrie was buckets, shake and bake, buckets, barbecue chicken. Steph Curry, man. Had Steph Curry was able to hold down Kyrie, they win that game in 4 or 5 or 6 games. You let me know when you seen Isaiah Thomas get cooked like that. Y'all had y'all selective memories. Steph Curry couldn't, man, Houston was switching on him last year. Whoever Steph Curry was guarding, they would say, go at him. James Harden was looking like he was in regular season form in the playoffs. He was gold freezer James Harden. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Y'all look at the regular season. Oh, he's so great. But when the playoff time come, when them finals hit, that nigga out there, I need $1. $1 is what. Motherfucker ain't nowhere to be found. And then all of a sudden, when they up 3-0 or 2-0 in the NBA Finals and Kevin Durant trying to be the Finals MVP, here comes Steph Curry trying to compete for the Finals MVP and still it at the end. Slow that ass down, baby. If it wasn't for Kevin Durant, you wouldn't have been here. I don't care about you keep telling about the averages, bro. The averages mean nothing. You can get them points in garbage time. He said Steph is good because of Clay. They play off each other. They a perfect couple. Yeah, I don't F with Steph Curry at all, but you talking about the greatest. Okay, he's a great shooter. I'm not going to lie. He a great shooter. Greatest shooter I ever seen. But ain't basketball playing defense too? Ain't it playing defense too? Ain't it making those big shots? What's Steph Curry's biggest shot in the finals? Where was that motherfucker at when LeBron had Kyrie and Kevin Love? Where was he at when Klay Thompson and Draymond needed? Where was he at? Where was he at? What is his marquee moment in the NBA Finals? Where was when they was down The year before Kevin Durant, where was he at? Draymond showed up before him in Game 7. Draymond showed up. Draymond was hooping. After he got suspended, where was Draymond? 16. That's what. Where was Steph Curry? Excuse me. I know where Kyrie was. Kyrie put a dog collar around Steph's neck. He grabbed the leash and he walked his ass 90 feet up and down the court and dog walked his ass. That's what I remember. I don't care about no MCL. Deontay Wilder had a fucked up knee versus Fury. Can he get an excuse? What was Steph Curry? What was he having? Kyrie was doom 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 doom. That motherfucker was cooking. I thought he turned into Curry stew. Without Kevin Durant and without Kyrie and Love getting injured, he has no titles. This is a fact. Had Kevin Love been healthy, he wouldn't have a title, and Kevin Durant not came. We are just speaking facts. He was never the best player in the NBA Final Series. Can we agree? Can we agree? He was never the best player in any of the NBA Final Series. Even last year, if Klay Thompson stay healthy, they win the series. I believe. When was he the best player in the NBA Final Series? When? Ball control. When was he the best player in the NBA Final Series? No, he wasn't. Iguodala won the Finals MVP. Nobody said he's not the best shooter of all time. What else can Steph do for you? When was he the best player? No, he was not in 2015, bro. Iguodala don't come in and into the starting five. LeBron got another ring. Tell me I'm lying. If Iguodala does not come in that series, do they win? No. That's why Iguodala was the finals. And y'all niggas making up shit, bro. When they put Iguodala in and he started defending LeBron and he started to slow LeBron down just a little bit, that's when the series changed. Stop it. Stop lying to yourself, dog. That was the turning point of that series. You niggas like, oh yeah, he is right. I'm trying to hear that. He said they ain't ride him. If Kevin Durant don't come near, he don't win, nigga. Top 5? No, we not. No, we not. No damn top 5, nigga. LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis. Who else we got? AD. Who else we got out there? James Harden. Put him on Houston to see what he do. Kevin Durant. Forgot about KD. It's not Curry. I ain't asked him to shut down LeBron James. But all I'm saying is when Iguodala came in there, the series changed. Right? When Iguodala came in there, did the series not change? Am I lying? I didn't say he didn't change the game. I didn't say that about him. I said he changed the game. He was the most revolutionary. He said Golden State got rings without KD. Where? You talking about back when Wilt Chamberlain won them a ring? They got one ring, nigga. And that was because Kyrie and Kevin Love was hurt. I ain't trying to hear about that choking shit. You put Steph and Curry. Let me just tell you this. You put Steph Curry ball control, swap him out there for Giannis, see how far the Bucks get. Put Steph Curry in Milwaukee. That motherfucker be howling to go back with Clay. No Draymond, no KD. And what be killing me is people act like that was an actual ring that Golden State got. They won that ring off a fluke. If them dudes ain't injured and Iguodala don't come in the game and Steve Kerr make that, if anything, the real MVP, it go Iguodala and it go Steve Kerr. Because Steve Kerr don't put Iguodala in the starting five and make that coaching adjustment, and they don't get Kevin Durant. He don't even have a ring. LeBron is what, 5-4 is a tumbo? We just talking facts. Harden choke. So do So do Steph Curry. Shit, he ain't no different. He just got a better supporting cast and a better coach. Steve Kerr deserves his credit. Y'all be killing me, bro. Like, this nigga didn't really had a consistent final run where he been the star. Never. That motherfucker be front running. A lot of it is a lot of ifs. But one thing that ain't an if is he ain't got no finals MVP. He was never the best player in any other finals. That's a fact. Had he defended Kyrie Irving, maybe he win finals MVP in 16. Right? Kyrie was fucking cooking his ass. Where's the D? Where was the D? That's the great thing about Michael. Shit, LeBron in his Miami Heat days, had they not put LeBron on Derrick Rose probably would have made it to the finals. But when it came down to some of them Chicago Bulls series, you could see an isolation. It was Derrick Rose versus LeBron James. And Derrick Rose and LeBron stopped all that shit. I give him that credit. He stopped all that shit. Yeah, he cooked him with Kevin Durant. He stopped all that. Oh, Chris Paul would have been injured. But point guard, I'm talking about point guard. I ain't talking about the greatest shooter. Point guard, when you talking about strictly point guard, Chris Paul is a better player from a talent standpoint to me personally as a point guard. If you're just talking about in a vacuum, a better NBA player, give me Steph Curry all day. But you talking about Chris Paul at his best, his ability to defend, his ability to play make, and he can shoot the ball, I'm taking Chris Paul on the point guard ladder. I'm taking Jason Kidd on the point guard ladder. I'm taking John Stockton on the point guard ladder. Oscar, Isaiah, Magic. It's just my opinion. My opinion ain't biblical. Steph Curry, he can get you 50, 30, 50. He going to give up 50, 60 points. That's why he ain't one of the best players today. Chris Paul was a dog. Do people forget Chris Paul took Tyson Chandler and David West to the Western Conference Finals? Do people forget that? People forgot that, huh? He said he got rings because of Kevin Durant and some injuries. But y'all act like he went out there on some real nigga shit and got the rings, bro. No, he didn't. Y'all act like he was like the main ingredient. Oh, he got to get them rings, man. It's Steph Curry. Come on, man. He was a huge part, but he wasn't the reason why. Kevin Durant don't come there. LeBron is higher in the GOAT conversation. We know that to be true. If they don't go suck Kevin Durant's dick to come to Oakland, they don't win another time. They just another team. After winning 73 games, and they suspended Draymond and that was messed up. That after 73 games, whatever they won, and you go beg Kevin Durant to come, why? Because they had only answer for LeBron at the time was Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant. No KD, no more rings. They wasn't beating no LeBron James. Not that Harrison Barnes shot a little bit better. Yeah. But he didn't. They suspended Draymond. Yeah. Was that the right thing to do? No, but it happened. But they had Game 7. And had they won Game 7, Draymond would have been the Finals MVP. Draymond was hooping out his mind on both sides of the court. Draymond came back and made up for it. Who didn't show up? Who was letting Steph Curry? Who was letting Kyrie Irving shake the shit out of him? You guessed it. They actually play better without KD. No, they don't. It's the reason they got him. If they played better without KD, he never would have been there. And if he played better without KD, let's see what they do next year. He fouled out. Why did he foul out? Because he couldn't handle Kyrie Irving. What you talking about? He couldn't handle Kyrie Irving. But Kyrie not better. Man, all that matter in the finals, who got cooked? Who got cooked? That ain't what Kevin Durant say. Kevin Durant say Kyrie a better fuck. The fix, man, I'm about to block the shit out you. You talking bullshit now. The fix is in. I ain't trying to hear that, bro. Y'all, ticky tack. I ain't trying to hear ticky. That's what the NBA is, ticky tack files. Steph Curry just ain't shit. I'm telling y'all, bro. He just ain't the shit y'all think. I'ma stand by that, bro. I'ma stand by that motherfucker. He ain't the top 5 player right now. Well, obviously not right now. What's my opinion on it? He said they getting played the fixed game. You can go back to what Kevin Garnett said, how they fixed the game for LeBron to beat them. He said, how many times have Kyrie been back to the finals since? Don't matter. He beat his ass. He beat his ass that finals. You put motherfucking Steph Curry in Boston or in Brooklyn. Do they make it? No. Shit, when Golden State get back together next year, they making the finals. We can make a bet right now. Can we make a bet right now? Golden State going to the finals next year? I bet whatever amount of money y'all want to bet. Guarantee they win the chip without Curry. You mean without who? KD? Check your spelling. KD? I bet bread they don't win another one. Bet bread they don't win another one. It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. That core with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, if they bring in Giannis, then I get it. Or they bring in LeBron, or they bring back Kevin Durant or somebody like that, then I get it. Then you're probably right. But as they stand pat, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green, they not winning another one. Y'all Celtics wouldn't have did shit. They couldn't even handle. Jason Tatum had to handle LeBron, and they couldn't even do nothing else. I ain't trying to hear that. My Celtics. They had to have a rookie step up and then sabotage the rookie the next year. CB3 probably won't win nothing. There's a lot of great players that never won nothing. That's better than a lot of players y'all naming. Charles Barkley ain't never win nothing. And Charles Barkley was a damn good player. One of the best basketball players that I've ever seen. It's a point that LeBron didn't win nothing. KD wouldn't have won nothing if he didn't go to Golden State. Don't take away that he a great ball player. Allen Iverson didn't win nothing. Great ball player. Lakers weren't going to no fucking finals. Tried to tell y'all niggas that last. Y'all don't listen to shit I say. When I'm right, don't nobody got nothing to say. AD was not going to show up in the playoffs. I'm telling y'all that right now. AD and LeBron was a bad mix to go to the championship. I'm telling y'all right now. They was not making it. Unless somebody got injured. But y'all don't want to listen. AD is not built for that shit. Y'all remember him in the national championship game? He folded like origami in Kentucky. He couldn't hit a shot. That been him his whole career. Nobody worried about no AD and no LeBron in the playoffs. The only mistake Kawhi made was bringing playoff packing Paul George to the championship, to the team. He should have went to go got somebody like Jimmy Butler. Because we know Jimmy Butler going to show up in prime time. But Jimmy Butler reportedly said no. I mean, he should have got Victor Oladipo. Well, he had one leg. But Paul George, one of my favorite players in the league, but he ain't showing up in no playoffs. He said KD needed Curry. No, they didn't. They needed KD, bro. That's a lump of shit. They would have no answer for LeBron James. Stop. Who begged who? Come on. Who begged who? We are like Kevin Durant was saying, oh man, I need to come over there with y'all, man. Like he Flash. You know. He said Steph ain't go to Oklahoma City. Who cares if he did or he didn't? Who begged who? Who went to the Hamptons and say, KD, man, we can't beat LeBron. We need you. You're not going to beat him in Oklahoma City. Y'all ain't beat him with James and Russ. We can't fuck with him over here. So if we combine our superpowers together, we can beat him. We can beat him. Y'all act like Steph got a legit ring, bro. He don't. We can beat them. If we just hold our hands, we can make a Super Saiyan God and beat LeBron. That's what, nigga, I just speak the facts. If we hold our hands together, we can beat LeBron. had KD said no, LeBron James will be 2 up in the championship column, bro. He'd have won 3 in a row. They would have been talking about LeBron is the GOAT. But KD came in there and stopped all that shit. Come on. Steph Curry can't do half of what KD can do. KD can shoot, Steph can shoot. That's where it ended. He can't defend, he don't rebound, no nothing. Motherfucker can't even dunk. Stop it, bro. Stop it. I'm trying to hear that, man. Let's talk about Scottie, man. Yeah, man. A lot of people was looking at Scottie's salary back in the day. And, yeah, that was kind of sad how much he was making. I feel that Michael Jordan was on some whole ass shit. You supposed to stick up for your team, but I figured that Jordan just knew that the ownership wasn't nothing in Chicago. Chicago ownership, the Bulls, I ain't talking about the city of Chicago. Ownership didn't deserve that team. And looking back at it now and what Chicago has become, for sure, it ain't hard to be he said he's a first ballot top 50. He ain't no top 50 in my book. But hey, they want to make him top 50, top 50. I know 50 better players than Curry. But the Chicago Bulls organization just showing you why they are the way they are now. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Eddie Curry, the Tyson Chandler, how they let Tom Thibodeau run Derrick Rose into the ground. It's just a bad organization, and he was trying to break that team up to rebuild it before they lost, and he should have let Phil stay, Jerry Cross, he should have let Scottie stay, he should have paid Scottie. But that just let you know the owner didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he should have vetoed that. He should have been fired Jerry Cross, but Jerry Cross did promote Phil. He did, you know, draft Michael, I believe. He did draft Scottie, so he did put the team together. But, you know, Scottie was a damn good player, man. Scottie, you know, he wasn't the greatest shooter in the world, but Scottie can defend. Scottie can score. Scottie can play off Jordan. Scottie can be the point forward. Scottie can bring the ball up the floor. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as talented as Grant Hill was, but you know what? He could defend Grant Hill. You know, and he could do a lot of other things Grant could do. He can facilitate. He can lock you up. Scottie, top 50 greatest player at the time. You know what I'm saying? And he was the perfect fit to play off Michael. Everybody can't play off LeBron or play off Michael or play off Iverson or play off Isaiah Thomas or, you know, these certain players that it's hard to play off. You got to get a good fit for. And Scottie was the perfect number 2 to Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You could have put Charles over there and it wouldn't have worked. You could have put Gary over there and it couldn't have worked. It couldn't have worked. I mean, you could put Chris Webber, Shaq, it may not have worked. So Scottie just did all the dirty work, and he just had a bad agent. You know what I'm saying? Who is that? I don't even know who that is, but he got to go. He got to go. So, you know, I just didn't understand, you know, them not wanting to pay him, but great player though. You know, like Michael said, he couldn't have did it without Scottie. He couldn't have did it without Paxson hitting the shot. He couldn't have did it without Steve Kerr hitting the shot. It's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? That's what people understand. David Robinson didn't win shit until Tim Duncan got there. You know, it ain't nobody that done it by themselves. Players got to hit shots. They got to hit shots. Players got to play that role. They got to defend. Michael can't guard all 5. Scottie can't guard all 5. And people forget Scottie was almost to the finals until they cheated him versus the Knicks. People forget that. He almost took that Bulls team to the finals. You know, by the time 98 rolled around or 99 rolled around, he went to Houston. They was all too old. Old Chuck, old Akeem. That's before he went to Toronto. They was old as hell. And don't forget, it was a lockout year too. So, you know, I think they lost to, I don't know who they lost to in 99. That was a huge difference because, you know, Karl Malone, I think they faced Jordan a couple times in the finals, if I remember correctly, maybe not. But after 98, you know, the next year, you know, San Antonio emerged. You know, they emerged and they won the lockout year. And don't forget, when Jordan and Pippen left the East, the New York Knicks finally made it. So, you know, should Jerry Krause have signed, you know, he should have paid Scottie Pippen and then moved him? Absolutely. It made the most sense. The Bulls definitely would have won 7. They would have won in 99 because Jordan would have got a rest from the lockout. They would have stayed in shape. One more year, they would have won it. One more year, they would have got 7. Now going into 2000, maybe they could have held Shaq down for one more year. With a few more players or pieces they would have moved in, maybe they could have held Shaq down for one more year. But eventually they would have lost to Kobe and Shaq. Miss Black D salute. Versatile ENT salute. Eventually, and then look at the teams that made it. New York, Indiana finally bust through. Those were Michael Jordan's 2 biggest nemesis for the most part throughout the 90s. And then his other nemesis, Shaquille O'Neal, who beat him when he came back for 17 games after he retired, beat him in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then they beat the Magic the next year. Then he out in the West. So I think it's a real possibility that Michael and Scottie and them, they could have won 8. But I think after 2000, I think the Lakers would have got him. He would have been too old. I think Kobe would have been too spry, and he would have lost the finals. He probably would have retired 8-1 in the finals. But I definitely envision them beating. That one team. I definitely envision them beating the Knicks and then beating San Antonio. Then I envision them beating the Lakers. But after that one, after 99 and 2000, I think Kobe and Shaq, it was just their time. He would have had 8. But, at the end of the day, he got out at the right time. He did. He got out with 6. Now, the real question is, could bait Kobe to be in? See, that definitely would have happened the first year. Now, could he have beat Hakeem and them? That was a good team. I don't even think Dennis Rodman could really hold Hakeem down. He could have held him down just a little bit enough. But that would have been interesting because they had really good defenders on the perimeter. With Maxwell, and they had some other guys there. So that would have been interesting. I think that's always probably one of the biggest what-if stories outside of injuries on how Michael Jordan and Hakeem would have matched up in them series that he left. Hakeem was phenomenal. To this day, Hakeem still should have been the number 1 pick, and that was the 84 draft. He was a phenomenal player. You know what I'm saying? Hakeem Olajuwon was the flashiest post player in NBA history. I think Kevin McHale is the most technical and fundamental post player in the league. But if I said put on a video of post play, I probably would say put on Kevin McHale. But if you're a gifted athlete like a Joel Embiid with your feet, or you like Anthony Davis, I think I could put on Hakeem Olajuwon, post play. Everybody can't do Hakeem. I think most big men can kind of mimic what Kevin McHale did, but McHale McHale, Bernard King, Hakeem Olajuwon had some of the best block game I've seen. Kareem was cool, Wilt was all right, was pretty good, but they had the best block game. Them 4 right there just sweet on the block. You know what I'm saying? But Hakeem, everybody can't mimic Hakeem footwork. You can't put that tape on, and that's why Kobe and some of the other guards went with Hakeem. That he had guard feet, but that's kind of what I would want to see if Jordan could make those years. But that abbreviation in his career allowed him to three-peat twice because he got a rest for 2 years, almost full 2 years, and that allowed the body to heal. And what really kills dynasties and three-peats is just injuries, rest. You playing deep into May, and you playing into June. So you look at it, you really got 3 weeks into June, and July, August, and then September, October, you kind of going back into the camp where most people season over in April, and they got more time to rest and heal. So when you making those deep finals run and you doing all the commercials and the press tour, everybody getting a big hit, that's what kills finals runs. It's just the grind, and just the taste of championships. After a while, the hunger is gone. So that's why you always should kind of modify your championship team. You look at Kansas City, they can't sit back and not do nothing in the NFL draft. They got to do something to improve their experience. As far as maybe defensively, even offense, you have to quick tweak some things. The old notion when you talk about championship teams, if it ain't broken, ain't fixed, you don't need to fix it. Yes, you do. You always need to upgrade it. Remember Houston, they brought in Clyde Drexler their second year. They needed to bring in Clyde. They needed something different. So you got to make those. You got to modify your championship team. Where you rank Kobe all time? Curious, just I got him 10. I mean, he could be in my 5, but it's subjective. I would say Michael Kareem tied for 1. I would definitely say possibly LeBron in there at 4. I mean, Bird, Magic, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. I think all of them can kind of go in that 10 range. You know what I'm saying? You can mix them up, but Kareem and Michael are definitely in the 2. I mean, Magic, Bird, LeBron, Kobe, Hakeem, Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt, Bill Russell. They all got to be there. I don't care how other than Magic. The only ones I'm not really moving is Kareem and Michael and Magic and Bird. Them 4 and LeBron, them 5, I can shuffle them. I can shuffle them however. And I say Hakeem could be in there, tied with one of them up there. But other than that, the other bottom 5, it can go either way. I think Kobe can be there. I think, like I said, Bill Russell got to be there. Wilt is probably the greatest athlete the NBA has ever seen over LeBron. Go look at Wilt Chamberlain's measurables. So, yeah. But as far as, I think even the Spurs could have ended the Jordan if they, when they was kind of tussling with the Lakers in the West. So, it eventually would have had to come to an end. And I think Jordan truly means his competitive nature. I think Jordan really wanted to go out on his shield and see who could have beat them. I don't think he cared about being 6-0. I think they had a great opportunity to go 8-0. And I think it would have stopped in 0-1. I think they would have beat Iverson and I think they would have beat Indiana. Iverson and them was 0-1. So I think it would have beat Iverson and them. But it would have stopped there. Shaquille O'Neal was just a grown man. Kobe would have learned from the previous finals experience. And they was a freight train. But don't forget, Scottie Pippen was on that Portland team that was probably one of the greatest teams never to win a championship. And they almost beat the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? With Bonzi and Ruben Patterson, young Jermaine O'Neal, Brian Grant, Rasheed Wallace, Damon Stoudemire, Steve Smith from the D, Scottie Pippen. They had a Greg Anthony. That was one of the greatest teams never to win it. And the Sacramento King team as well that they had. So that was crazy to me that team didn't win it. I remember those finals like Arvydas Sabonis, the greatest international big man. Nobody talk about. People talk about Paul and Dirk, but Sabonis was great. He just came to the NBA late. So Bill Russell not up there in the top 5, 22 boards a game. I say, hey, however you want. That's my opinion. You want to say Bill Russell up there? I say he in my 10. Isaiah can. Yeah, you can. It's all subjective. He said I got the same players because had Magic, Kareem. Michael Kareem, Magic, Brian, Bird, Flip Flop, Russell, Duncan, Shaq. I forgot about Tim Duncan. It's subjective. It's too many great players to box them into 10. Because you could say Isaiah. You could say Karl Malone. He up there in the scoring leader. He had a great career even though he was a shitty ass person. Y'all can ask questions. He said Kings had low basketball IQ. Rick Adelman was pretty much a good coach. He took the Blazers to the finals, I think, twice. Rick Adelman had been coaching a long time. I don't think he had low IQ. I just think they was chokers. We all know about Chris Webber in the NCAA finals. So, it's all subjective to. We forgetting players like Kevin Garnett. Talent for talent, Kevin Garnett was a better player, talent for talent, than Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan just got put in a better position. Can't be mad at it. Dirk Nowitzki, had a lot of great talent. He went through the Finleys, the Steve Nash era, there was a lot of great players, but it's just a lot of great players to box them into 10. And then you got the what-if stories like Ralph Sampson, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? It's just a ton of players. You got Walt Frazier, Errol Monroe, George Gervin, Kevin McHale's, the guys of that nature. The Pete Maraviches, the Jerry Westes of the world, the Elgin Baylors of the world. People forget Jamal Wilkes. He dropped 40 when Magic played center that game. People just forget he had 40. So a lot of great players, man. Don't forget the Steve Francis's of the world, the French, the Tracy McGrady's of the world, the Vince Carter's of the world, the Reggie Miller's of the world. I mean, you Gary Payton, Deadlift Shrimp was an okay player. You had a lot of great players back then. Mark Price was a what if story. I mean, Steve Nash was a pretty good player. Shit. Alvin Hayes, you had a lot of just Nate Tiny Archibald. They forget about him. Dominique Wilkins was a scoring machine. Bernard King, Patrick Ewing. I mean, whew. James Worthy was a great player. Byron Scott was pretty good, man. He was shooting that hole, man. Byron Scott would have thrived. Brandon Roy was a what if story. He one of the top high school coaches out there. Just had a lot of great players out there. I mean, you still got guys like Carmelo out there, Damian Lillard out there that still, Peyton A legacy. I mean, man, you got a lot of great players, man. The NBA was filled with fantastic ball players. Kevin Johnson, Sidney Moncrief. I mean, you had a lot of great players, man. You had guys that passed away like Malik Sealy. Tom Gugliotta was a good player till he injured himself. Wally Zerbiak was pretty good till he injured himself. And don't forget Jason Kidd. He took those Nets teams and got destroyed in the finals. we dethroned the Nets teams, the Pistons, but they was pretty good. Kerry Kittles went to Villanova. They had who else? Kenyon Martin over there. Jason Kidd. People forget Jason Kidd took a team on his back, so you got to put Jason Kidd in the same sentence as Allen Iverson and Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Jason Kidd put the Nets on his team. They was getting destroyed like a motherfucker too. And Ron Harper before the injury, Lonzo Mourning was pretty good, even though Grant banged on him. Larry Johnson, I think he suffered an injury. Antonio McDyess was really good before he got injured. So you just had a lot of great players, man. What about the kid? Was it Reggie? Not Reggie Theus. What's the kid that played from Baltimore that played with Muggsy Bogues that the Boston Celtics got? He ended up passing away. I think it was after Len Bias. Was it after Len Bias was there? So the Celtics had some tragedies as far as what if players because Len Bias was supposed to be everything as good as Michael Jordan, and then they had the kid from Baltimore that was pretty good that passed away. So he said Larry Johnson was the first. Reggie Lewis, thank you. I was almost wanted to say Theus. Grandmama Larry Johnson. He was another guy like Zion that was just too heavy. Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, St. John Salute, Tim Hardaway. Had a lot of great players, man. But I think Wilt Chamberlain was the greatest athlete. Wilt Chamberlain could have played any sports. He could have played any sport he wanted to play. They said I was reading a story and the guy says he was like it was one player that was better than Jerry Rice when they had a little receiver camp where they was playing out there, and he said who was the one receiver that was better than Jerry Rice at this camp? He said it was a guy named Wilt Chamberlain. He said he had better hands. He was faster than Jerry Rice. He was stronger than Jerry Rice. He just happened to play basketball. Then this dude played volleyball like after he retired and shit, man. And then he was the motherfucking go to smashing groupies too. He had slept with like 1 billion women. Wilt Chamberlain was. You hear they talk about Wilt Chamberlain, bro. He was a superhero, bro. Fuck the stats. Then you hear people talk about how good Wilt Chamberlain was. That dude was a superhero, dude. They said he was a better receiver than Jerry Rice. They said he was just as strong as Arnold Schwarzenegger on steroids. He would lift with Arnold and bench press 400 pounds. That motherfucker genetics had the motherfucking antidote to the coronavirus. You ain't lying. Like he was. Hey, LeBron got to be like. LeBron and Wilt Chamberlain got to be from the same genetic pool, bro. They got to be from the same genetic pool. LeBron and Wilt Chamberlain, they got to be from the same genetic pool. Ain't no two ways around it, bro. Will was a race car driver. This dude was fucking phenomenal, bro. You would think they was talking about motherfucking Superman. LeBron got a needle in his ass. I don't believe that, bro. If he do, he do. He won't be the first. He won't be the last. But I ain't gonna put that on the black man. LeBron is the modern day Will. I think that's the perfect comparison. Yeah. They got to be, man. They got to be from the same gene pool, bro. You hear them talk the same way. Yeah, Jim Brown was a motherfucker, man. He another dude. They talked about him like he was a motherfucking superhero. They gonna the same way they talked about Jim Brown and Will Chamberlain. Motherfuckers, we gonna be telling our kids about LeBron. Oh, that motherfucker, y'all got playing out there. What name is Tracy Wright? He wasn't fucking with LeBron James. I see LeBron James carry Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, the Water Boy, and 3 crackheads to the hole, and dunked it and hit the free throw. Yeah, boy ain't fucking with LeBron James. LeBron James, I'm telling you, it was dude 6'7", 230 pounds, 500 pounds. With that, he was 6'9". Hey, shut the fuck up. He wore a cape. Real talk. Bo Jackson, you got a lot of dudes. Yeah, Bo had unfortunate. Zion just got to lose some weight. Zion on some other shit. Zion a problem. Zion a real deal, bro. They might have to get rid of Brandon Ingram and let him flourish with Alonzo. LT, man, that nigga was a green light baby from Black Lightning. LT was on green light. LT was your neighborhood crackhead on the football field. I think LT is the greatest football player I've ever seen. Him, Barry, Jerry, yeah, LT. Yeah, AI, yeah, he was a good player. LT was probably the best football player, man. Go look at LT. LT was a problem. Yeah, Barkley, bro, he was Alabama strong. Him and Deontay Wilder got the same genetics. I think Zion needs to lose about 30. Give him some cushion. Emmitt Smith, nah, he was a good running back. But nah, Emmitt played in a great system. I love Emmitt Smith. He's a great person. You know, I love Emmitt. Emmitt was a grinder. I want Emmitt on my team any day. But as far as greatest football players out there, to me, I think that's like Lawrence Taylor, Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice. I think those are the 3 that I would say I would kind of put at number 1. And, I like, some good what-if stories like Gale Sayers and Jim Brown got to be up there too. But Lawrence Taylor, man, he did some phenomenal things. He's not the greatest running back of all time. He not. This is cowboy biasness. You put him in Detroit, he wouldn't been what he was. But not knocking him. I mean, you only can play. You only can do what you only can, do what you do. But he's not the greatest running back. I like Walter Payton better. I think Adrian Peterson was a better back, talent for talent. But Emmitt's a top 5 back, no doubt about it. Top 5 back. I think KD is one of the coldest ever. Pick up a basketball 6'8". Yeah, he's definitely a different dude. Zion would have been a beast on the football field. He's on a Bucks. Everybody a Bucks fan today. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Everybody. But why is it debatable? His levels above the rest. Well, don't forget about Kareem. I like Emmitt, but put Barry on the Cowboys daily. Thurman Thomas, yeah, he started in front of Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State. Oh, you talking about Mr. I Lost My Helmet? Jim Brown at 1 in it too. I got LT at 1. LT did some shit that ain't never been done. It had been done once before. LT was the MVP of the league, being a defensive player. And LT was all pro at outside linebacker. Then LT was all pro at inside linebacker. Like, you can't make this shit up. Like, the dude was proficient on inside and outside, bro. He made like Dion made the cornerback famous. LT made the left tackle famous and made the pass rusher famous. LT was just when he broke Joe Theismann's leg, man. But I ain't knocking Jim Brown. He got to be there. You want to make it a draw, a tie? I'm not knocking you. It's hard to. Bruce Smith was pretty. You only saying that because he's from Buffalo. Get your 4 straight loss ass on. But I like Bruce Smith. Remember when he in Little Giants too? He said Marshawn, I don't think people realize how sick he was. Yeah, he ain't on that level yet. He ain't on that level, though. Love Marshawn. That's just a different level back. You talking about Emmett, Barry, Walter Payton, Jim Brown. I think you got to throw Adrian Peterson in there, LaDainian Thomas, Marshall Faulk. And I think then after kind of that era, then I would kind of put Marshawn the next year. But he a Hall of Famer to me. Oh, don't forget about the inconvenient truth. Frank Gore got to get in there. He got to get in there for sure. I miss a lot of running backs we forgetting about. I mean, Corey Dillon, I think, is one of the most underrated running backs. He just played in a bad team. Corey Dillon used to come to Detroit and shred our ass. Used to love Corey Dillon as a kid. Gale Sayers, he got injured early. You got just a lot of great sweetness. You got a lot of great backs, man. Where do you draw the line? Seriously, where do you draw the line at? When you saying somebody to GOAT, Curtis Martin was one of my favorite players. Because he was all heart. He was all heart. That's what I liked about most of my favorite players. They was heart. Iverson, my favorite player of all time, he was heart. Reggie Miller was all heart. You know what I'm saying? Most of my favorite players played with all heart. Kobe Bryant, all heart. Kevin Garnett, all heart. When you look at my top 10, I'm going to say the majority, I'm going to say way more than the majority, but to be safe, the majority of my top 10 players in basketball played with all heart. All heart. Eric Dickerson, cheating ass, as far as in SMU, but I ain't mad at him. Eddie George, a Christian Okoye, African boy. I think he was African running back. But all my top players in the NBA play with all heart. All heart. That's what I loved about my player. Reggie Miller, all heart. AI, all heart. Kobe, all heart. Kevin Garnett, all heart. I wasn't a Jordan fan, but he was all heart. Pippen, heart. Dennis Rodman. That's what this Detroit basketball was in the 80s with Isaiah. It was all heart. It was all heart. Warwick Dunn, T.J. Duckett. They was a backfield. T.J. Duckett went to Michigan State. They was a backfield in Atlanta. You had Ron Dane. He wasn't that good, but he was pretty good at Wisconsin. Tiki Barber, fumbling ass. Yeah, Steve Nash. Yeah, he could have got to a championship before for Robert Horry. Who else you got? You got a lot of good backs. They came in. We probably forgetting a lot of them. Brian Westbrook, he was solid. Andy Reid loved him because he catch the ball at the backfield. For real. Robert Smith for the Minnesota Vikings, he was pretty solid. We said Ed Martin, excuse me. Curtis Martin. Who else? I'm trying to think. I know we forget Marcus Allen. I'll be mad if I didn't mention him. Priest Holmes. Priest Holmes used to get touchdowns. Jamal Lewis. Larry Johnson had a run out of Penn State for a minute. Ricky Williams kind of disappointed, but he just wanted to smoke weed. That boy from Cleveland, nice though. Oh, Terrell Davis, one of my favorite players of all time. Since my Lions teams were so sorry, I used to love the Bronco game. Watch the Bronco game. Him and John Nealway was my boys. Oh, Jerome Bettis, he from the D, for sure. For sure. Mackenzie's finest. Oh, Sproles, another dude with all heart. Oh, yeah. Chubbs, Nick Chubbs, that's his name? Oh, that boy can go. Nick Chubb, that Georgia boy. Man, I know the Patriots with, man, Nick Chubbs can go. If they get Nick Chubbs the ball 20 times a game, bro, Baker Mayfield just gotta do a good 10 passes a game. Nick Chubbs can go. Nick Chubbs a motherfucking dog. Yeah, I said Jamal Lewis. Oh, Damian Williams? Yeah, I liked him from Kansas City. Phil Lindsay, love him. Chris Carson, all heart but fun was way too much. Yeah, he was Seattle. He got injured last year. I like Baker Mayfield. I think people in Cleveland, I think the perception is Baker is a bad quarterback, but it's not true. Baker gonna be good, bro. Problem with Chuck Salute. The problem with Baker Mayfield was Freddie Kitchens, bro. That's all. He might be an asshole, but Baker Mayfield is probably gonna be a good quarterback. Watch. Baker Mayfield gonna be pretty good. Kyler Murray, I thought he did pretty good. Shawn Alexander, Seahawks, I liked him. T.O., I like, yeah, he's a receiver though. Herman Moore from the D, yeah, we know. But man, he can talk as much as he wants to. Let him talk. Shit, Phillip Rivers do all that talking. He just need a coach that's gonna help him out. Freddie Kitchen did him no favors. Yeah, they gotta get rid of OBJ. Baker solid, you think? Yeah, Baker gonna be good, man. I ain't worried about Baker Mayfield, bro. Just the coach fucked him up last year. I like Baker. I like Josh Allen. A lot of people say Josh Allen ain't that good, but I see the progression. I just see there's different things in quarterbacks. People want these quarterbacks to be great right away. Kyler Murray might stumble a little bit next year, as a defense, but Baker Mayfield gonna be good. Dalvin Cook a beast. Florida State. Edgerrin James, yep, he was good. Peyton was nice for him. So yeah, I don't mean. Yeah, Baker is good, bro. I don't know why y'all don't like Baker. Oh, he threw 20. Man, Freddie Kitchens fucked him up, bro. And people look at Josh Allen and see he had one bad playoff game, and all of a sudden he ass. Josh Allen is gonna be pretty good if he just just go through the progressions and get better. He played some really good football games last year. He too inaccurate. Yeah, he not comfortable with the offense yet. You just got with footwork and just being comfortable with the offense. He'll get there, bro. He'll get there. He'll get there. Trust me. Baker Mayfield is he don't have to be a good athlete, bro. Drew Brees not a good athlete. All Baker got to do is just listen to Kevin Stefanski, and he'll be all right. Y'all can't tell me that Baker Mayfield looked that bad from year 1 to year 2, and it wasn't because of Freddie Kitchens. It's because of Freddie Kitchens. Baker Mayfield got a rocket. He a good enough athlete. He'll be okay. His left tackle was Greg Robinson. Come on. He said quarterback to be great faster because the coaches don't have... Exactly. Yeah, Baker going to be fine, bro. Baker going to be fine. I'm just saying Allen and Baker ass since then when Baker can't beat one. Look where he at. Like, y'all kill me with that shit. It's this motherfucker's second year and he in Cleveland, motherfucker. Who won? Sam Darnold asked. Who won in Cleveland? Seriously, who won in Cleveland? Who? You talking about beating winning teams in Cleveland? They was 0-16 when Baker Mayfield got there. Did you forget that? Another John? Are you really saying this dude is Johnny Manziel, bro? He won 8. He went from 0-6. They went 0-16. This dude won 8. I love Drew Lock. He won 8 games after going 0-16, bro. Are y'all seriously comparing this dude? Crazy, bro. This is crazy. He said Baker bought the coach. Do y'all understand football? The coach. It was 4th and like 10, and they was playing the Rams, bro. The coach called a draw on 4th and like 10. Y'all out cold. He said all teams were under 500. They was 0-16. They didn't beat a 500, a 1000, a 1000 team. They were 0-16. So you expect for Baker Mayfield to come into a 0-16 team and turn it around and go 16-0. That don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense. The team didn't win a football game before he got there. He went from 0-16 getting there, then before that, to putting 8 wins up. Come on. Cleveland ain't won nothing, bro, since Kelly Holcomb won a playoff game back in the day. And I think it might have been versus the Bills. Can't remember, or Tennessee. I can't remember who he won that game against. Kelly Holcomb. Do anybody remember who Kelly Holcomb was? No, even if he trashed this year, you don't give up on him. What you have to understand is the team was 0-16. We had Matthew Stafford, right? We was 0-16. Stafford's shoulder got blew out the first year. The next year, Stafford's shoulder got blew out again versus the Chicago Bears in game 1. The Lions could have easily said, "Oh, let's trade Matthew Stafford, injury prone." They figured out that it was the offensive line and it was the supporting cast for him. They still ain't got it right, but Baker Mayfield need a left tackle. Jack Conklin is a right. Baker need a left tackle. And once they get a left tackle to secure his blind side, Baker will be okay. You got to understand football. Dude, do you understand it's the plays that he calling? Greg Robinson was the left tackle, bro. Go look up Greg Robinson, bro. He played with the Lions. Y'all niggas don't know football. This is why I don't like to do football. I don't talk football. This is why I don't talk football. If you don't have a good left tackle, bro, you're not going to be successful, bro. They built a team with flashy playmakers instead of building it from the trenches on out. Nobody was going to come in the 0-16 football team and turn it around and win shit. You could put Tom Brady on the team last year with Freddie Kitchens and they wouldn't have won. Why ain't Baker that dude, bro? Why? Why Baker ain't that dude? What he ain't did? Tell me, what has he not done to not be that good in 2 years, bro, to give up on him? What he ain't done? What he ain't done? Russ went into the perfect situation. So we not talking about Russ. Russ went into the perfect situation. He had beast mode. He had a competent coach in Pete Carroll, bro. Russ did not walk into an 0-16 football team. We speaking facts here. This team didn't win a game. Sam Darnold trash. He ain't got a chance. He done. He ain't got no potential. No hope. Drew Lock. I got a little hope for Josh Allen, and I got some hope for Baker Mayfield. Now, Baker be trash, and he is trash. Hey, I was wrong. But them three got talent. They got arm talent. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold ain't got no talent, bro. I'm not saying they all gonna be successful, but who been successful in Cleveland? Who? Derek Anderson, Kelly Holcomb. I don't even know who. Akili Smith with that Cincinnati. I don't know. Y'all be ready to give up on motherfucker like it's mad. It's not that. Hey, if it was up to y'all, Drew Brees wouldn't be in the league. I'll just say that. If it was up to y'all, Drew Brees wouldn't be in the league. If it was up to y'all, Alex Smith would have never had a rebirth. Jets won more games than the Lions and the Browns last year. You want a hand clap? What'd that mean? I was happy when Sam Darnold beat the motherfucking Dallas Cowboys. Hey, I still don't like the motherfucker. Man, Odell and Jarvis, they should have been it's you looking at it from a Madden standpoint of view. If I drop back with 5 steps in the drop and a nigga on my ass, I can't get the ball out. Once again, we talking about football. They traded Alex Mack to Atlanta, I believe. Greg Robinson, you cannot build a football team from flashy playmakers. Then to the inside, you have to build the offensive line for a quarterback that's 6 foot. That's a must. They got rid of their all-pro center. They never replaced their all-pro left tackle. I don't know who they right tackle. I don't even know who their guards were. You have to build the team from the trenches on out. That's just a fact. OBJ don't need a quarterback. His quarterback just need time to throw. It's the same thing with Eli Manning. He needed time to throw. Eli Manning didn't have time to throw the football. And eventually Eli Manning arm went out. OBJ ain't that fucking good no way. Because when Eli Manning was throwing dimes on him in Green Bay in the playoff game, he was dropping them. So this facade that OBJ is a great football player, let me know in a great moment what has he done. He got a few one-handed catches. He danced. But in that playoff game in Green Bay, he dropped the ball. He didn't. He dropped the ball multiple times. He dropped the touchdown. Had he caught the one touchdown, Eli Manning would have won in Green Bay that year. So don't give me that shit about, oh, you got OB. Motherfuckers say that shit about Stafford for you. Oh, you got Calvin Johnson. When motherfuckers say that, oh, you got. Come on, who won the Super Bowl last year? Who won? Patrick Mahomes. right? Who was his running back? A nigga that's undrafted. His best receiver was who? Tyreek Hill, a fucking gadget player. You know what I'm saying? Good football teams got good offensive line. They able to run the ball. They able to stop the run and play good defense, and their quarterback can make enough throws. Really good football teams. OBJ, I never said OBJ wasn't good, but he not great. And he stayed injured like a motherfucker. I wouldn't want him on my football team. Sorry, too prima donna, too faggish. I'm good. He said, "Who you talking about? You don't know shit. I know who Allen Robinson is. He from the D. How you gonna tell me? I know exactly who he is. He played for the Chicago Bears. Started off with the Jacksonville. Fucked his leg up. I know exactly who Allen Robinson is. I don't know who you're talking to, but yeah, he from Detroit. But do that make him the best football player? No. Kenny Galladay led the league in what? In touchdown receptions last year. He didn't have no quarterback the majority of the year. David Block and Driscoll. But that's just my opinion on it. But y'all looking at the flat, you gotta be able to block for these guys. Oh, my bad. You gotta be able to block for these shorter quarterbacks. But Sam Darnold, man, I bet any amount of money he ain't shit. And one of the reasons he ain't shit because he went to USC and none of the quarterbacks been shit since Carson Palmer. And another reason he ain't shit because Adam Gase ain't shit. So I gave you my thing. Josh Allen, I think he could be okay. He got a big arm, accuracy a little bit issue, but now he got Diggs, he got Cole Beasley, he got John Brown, David Knox pretty good. I think he'd be all right next year. See how hard he worked. But other than that, I mean, Drew Lock, I love him. I love Drew Lock coming out of Missouri. Love what I seen last year. But y'all expecting these quarterbacks to be finished products after 1, 2, 3 years. It take years. Remember Drew Brees went through the whole thing in San Diego. It take time, bro. What Patrick Mahomes done and what Deshaun Watson done, that's because they are elite quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, elite quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson is just an elite talent, elite quarterback. Dak Prescott, he was in a good situation. He's an elite talent, in my opinion. But every quarterback not gonna come beat him. Some guys gonna take time like Tom Brady. Don't forget Peyton Manning he got the rookie interception record. He threw 28 interceptions. But we're gonna talk some draft tomorrow. We're gonna bring Dre Berry on. So we talk some draft tomorrow. I gotta head out, pick my girl up, and we probably gonna find something to eat. So I'm gonna do some NFL talk tomorrow. We're gonna do some mock draft. I am not prepared for a mock draft, but I gotta be prepared for them. Check my other channel out, Mercy Sports Talk. You want to hear my Detroit opinion? We do news, Lions, Wings when I feel like it, Tigers when I feel like it, and a lot of Pistons. So check that out over there. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. All the links in the description. You can reach out to me and I accommodate you. For people wondering about the Reese Lee thing as far as boxing, I got the plug, so I'm not sure yet. But when I find out, I'll let you know. Want to make a donation? Cash App, PayPal in the description. Best way to donate, share the video. Appreciate the love, support, man. Mock draft tomorrow. I put the invite up, or I put the video up. I'm gonna get with Dre Berry. I'm gonna announce the time on social media tomorrow, and we're gonna do the mock draft. I think we're gonna do one round, and then we talk a little bit about the NFL. So if you like what we talked about today, tomorrow gonna be even better. Thursday I probably won't be live because the NFL draft on, or maybe we go live and give our commentary on the NFL draft. So I see what Dre Berry doing. Other than bringing people on that want to come on, I got to find another way because I use my StreamYard hours up already. I'm not paying 2 subscription fees. So I'll find a way to bring everybody else on tomorrow. Appreciate the love, support. Shout out to J8 favorite quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky. Y'all know what it is. Don't forget to check out the NBA 101 playlist. That's where it's going. All our NBA live streams. We gone.